Prepper Bill. Today is Thursday, May 7th, 2020, I think. And today's video is going to be an update on the greenhouse and the garden and how we expanded it and the rototiller. Well, just what I rototilled. And I'll see you in a minute. I'm going to do an update on the garden and the greenhouse. So one of the things in the greenhouse is it was getting really hot in here. And I made the door like a barn door so you could open the top up, but it was still getting really, really hot in here. So without spending a lot of money, I wanted to build a vent, like some kind of window for it to escape. And let me show you how I did it on a budget with what I had laying around. All right, now first, I measured kind of where I wanted it, how big I wanted it to let as much air out as possible. I wasn't sure if I wanted it to open up or open down, or out that way. But I figured the easiest way was just to put the hinges on the outside. But what I did was I measured and I drew lines where I wanted to cut, and then I just took a drill and drilled 4 holes on the 4 corners, and then I took my jigsaw and cut the top and the bottom first. I didn't cut the sides. Then I went on the outside and I put 2 hinges on the top. Instead of taking the wood out and hooking it up, then trying to line it back up, I just cut the top, put hinges on it, and then finished it. There's a hole in the corner. That's where the hinge is on the outside. It's not perfectly straight. Another hole, another hole, and they sell, damn chickens, roosters, they sell the automatic window openers, but they're kind of expensive and I didn't really have the money. I just put a piece of 2x4 on here. Or maybe it's a 2x3. Yeah, it might be a 2x3. I just drilled a hole, put a bolt with a piece of fir strip that I had from my old movie room. And I put nails in the bottom. So I can just push it out a little bit for a little bit of air to the next notch. Like that. Or I can open it all the way up to let some air out. I don't know if you can see the fir strip. Can you see the nails on there? Hold on. Here's the nails. And I just put a bolt through there. And you just push it from the top. That's one setting. Another. You go all the way if you want. I'm sure there's better ways of doing it. I was just using what I had. The hinges I found off of something else I threw in the trash a while back, and of course I save all the parts. Piece of fir strip, a couple little teeny nails. It works, and the price was right. Here's how the plants are growing. This is stuff she planted in the cups. They're all coming up pretty good. And what I think we're going to do pretty soon, I gotta get the mower in here and cut some of this stuff back. I'm going to bring the rototiller in here, which, how to buy a rototiller. You know, a cheap electric one. But it works pretty good. The Ryobi 13.5 amps. It actually did a pretty good job. Did better than I thought it would. But the ground was really hard. I tried doing it by hand and that wasn't happening. So, but probably going to rototill the back of this and plant some stuff in here. Take this bench out because we want to grow stuff for the winter if we can. take this bench out and probably rototill this whole side, maybe. That's the plan anyway. What are you doing, Mooey? Okay, the wind picked up. I don't know. I built this fenced in area. Keep the deer out. Now we're replanting stuff that we had inside. I rototilled this whole section. Let me back up so you can see it. I got a bunch of scrap 2x4s for nothing. Somebody was throwing out. They had a shitload of nails in it. But I took it, pulled all the nails out, and built this. Built the frame. I had some of this left over from the greenhouse that somebody gave us. It's like the 4-foot screen, welded wire screen. Fenced all this in. And she replanted some of the stuff that was inside out here. And that was a heavy duty pallet that I had. I cut apart to make a door. And then we added this back section. Rototilled all this. All kinds of stuff coming up now. That back row, there's 2 rows back there of potatoes. Not sure what this stuff is. This back wall of the greenhouse, she grew stuff here that's got to grow up, I guess, like along a trellis or a wire. I just took some scraps and I just cut them into long strips with another little piece behind it, kind of like a washer. I don't know if you can see that. Got a little piece behind it just to bring it off the back. So there's space in between it. And we just fished the wire over those strips and shoved it all the way down. So the plan is when they get tall, they will go up around the wire. That's in theory. That's what I'm planning on. That's what I'm hoping on. And of course you see why. And that's why we need a fence. Because when I used a rototiller and tilled this up, Dingaling over there came in and ripped everything up even deeper and just rolled around in everything. And then the chickens got in, so we had to buy some cheap wire. So I built this side at first and put the gate in, but it really wasn't big enough, and the chickens kept getting in. So we did this, and we bought this. I think this is 4 foot. That's 4 foot, maybe that's 3.5. I forget. It's got the thinner holes at the bottom to keep hopefully the rabbits and stuff out of here. And it gets bigger as it goes. I mean, it's all recycled wood. I think I had to buy a couple 2x4s, but most of what I got was pretty bad, but it was free. There you go, look at that. You just gotta be destructive. Yeah, the 2 long pieces are from the pallet that I cut in half. And then the other two sides are out of scrap 2x4s. And I guess we'll fill this in with stuff from the big pile we got. And watch videos, people planting stuff in pallets, and supposedly the dirt doesn't go through those holes. If it does, I'll just use some plastic and put it in between the holes, or down the side. But we'll see what happens. So, got the rooster over there making noise. I got Mooey over here chewing, making noise. That's the video I got so far. An update on the garden. The tools I used, the ingenuity that I used, the backyard mechanic mentality to use whatever. You got to use whatever you got. The way this economy's going, the way the world's going, everything's going to be shutting down. Pretty soon you're not going to be able to go to Walmart or Home Depot to get wood and tools and stuff like that. So I'm trying to get in the habit, like I always have, be cheap, be thrifty, be, I don't know, Piney-like, figure stuff out with what you got. Like the wood I got was recycled wood. We went to the dump the other day and somebody had a pickup truck full of wood. Had a bunch of nails in it. You know, there were wall studs. There was nails everywhere, every couple inches. I almost left it, but like, you know, I got to build a garden. I need wood. We don't have the money for that. So I picked it all up and I sat there for 2 days, little by little, pulling nails, pulling wire and everything off of it. And it worked out good. I mean, I had to buy a couple 2x4s because I didn't have enough for the back section. But somebody gave us a roll of wire that I used in the bottom of the greenhouse, the bottom section. And I used that for the first section of the garden that I built outside. And where the pig was digging in the back, we wanted to rototill that, and I was trying to do it by hand, and that wasn't working. We were going to rent a rototiller, and they're expensive as hell to rent. $150 deposit, $55 for 4 hours, and like $100 for the day. That wasn't happening. So we went and bought one at Home Depot, and I think it was like $139 or something. It's electric, but it took time, but it worked great. I got a lot done, and hopefully everything works. But with all the stuff that's going on, you know, I'm worried about water, the power, all kinds of stuff. So I took the cap off our well because we have well water. If the power goes out, we don't have. I look crooked here. I think the camera's crooked. We have well water, so if the electric goes out, we can't get water. So I have rain barrels. Every couple months, I dump them into 55-gallon drums. I empty it out and fill them up with fresh water. But I mean, that's pretty much to flush toilets and stuff like that. I mean, we could put it through the Berkey if we had to. We have a Berkey filter, but my main concern was water for drinking. And if shit does happen, which I see coming real soon, we have no way of getting fresh drinking water. So I took the cap off our well, and I took a piece of string, and I tied a big nut on the bottom, and I went down, and the water is, I think, like 12-foot height. And I kept on going down, and I thought it was a 25-foot well, or 30-foot well. But now I bought the emergency manual hand pump to install. So you install it, you can either take it out or leave it in, it drops inside the well. We bought one, but then I was thinking, I think I messed up when I did the measuring. When I went down, what I thought was the bottom probably isn't the bottom of the well, it's probably hitting my pump. There were a couple on eBay. A guy had one on Craigslist that, you know, was bigger and had more waters per gallon, you know, more gallons per minute when you pulled the thing. But some of these are expensive as hell. I mean, like $1,500, $3,000 for a manual. We don't have that kind of money. So I looked at a couple that people had for sale that either didn't fit or it was the wrong one, and for some reason they're selling it. But with a submersible pump, you have to get by your pitless adapter. You don't have a lot of room to fit, and they were pretty big, the ones you buy to go in there. And I'm like, that's not going to work. And I told the guy, I don't think it's going to fit past my pitless adapter. And he said that's what happened to him. It doesn't work in his well. So we ordered this other one. I forget the name of it, but I'm going to make a video on it when I install it. I was going to do it this week, but it was raining all week. And then we were working on the garden and stuff. So I'm going to do a video on that. And I mean, I think it was like $250, something like that. And it's a 25 or 30 foot, or maybe a 50 foot. I forget what I ordered. I'm not sure. There's directions. You install it. There's a hand pump with like 2 hoses inside each other, and you know, all that stuff on there. But they show you how to adjust it, how to cut it to different lengths. So I don't know. My idea, I thought, was just take the cover off, install the pump, let it, you know, uncoil it, let it flatten out, install it, and then leave it there. I think I'm going to have to shorten it. I think I'm going to have to do a lot of work. And these gnats are getting the hell out of me. So, I'll do a video on that. But, this is what we got for the garden so far. Hopefully everything grows. Hopefully everything works. You know, like the vent I put in the back, it was, you know, what I had on hand. You know, it's, you know, you can buy this, you can buy that. But, you know, they have electric fans, but I'm trying to do everything either. I don't want to use electric. I don't want electric out here because if electric goes out, it's like, oh, what do you want to do? We're used to having fans and all that. So I was looking at solar fans, but they're expensive too. So maybe Harbor Freight, get a solar panel kit, cheap, and then just use regular fans in there. I don't know. So if anybody has any ideas, let me know. My other concern was where I rototilled behind the greenhouse is where the pig was rooting and digging and digging and digging. He used to dig all over the yard, but he just goes to that section. Well, I rototilled all that up and fenced in. We planted stuff. And now I'm wondering, why was he digging there? Are there grubs? Is there something he was eating? And how are grubs if they get in the garden? If that's, because that's where I put it, where he was digging. So do you think I'm gonna have problems growing stuff there? Let me know in the comments what you think. And another thing, I had another video was taken down yesterday from YouTube. It was called the coronavirus bullshit or something like that. Well, it got flagged. Somebody, it's inappropriate because I was speaking my mind about how I think things are going in the world, and evidently it didn't comply with YouTube's community guidelines, so that was pulled. A couple months ago I had another one pulled, and I only have one strike against me for copyright. I made a video and the car in the background had the radio on, and there was like a 10-second or 5-second, you could barely hear a song in the background. Well, YouTube caught it and got me for copyright infringement. But I see everybody else posting videos with Black Sabbath in the background and Led Zeppelin or whatever. But, you know, mine was in the background on the radio, and I'm like, copyright infringement. I had to play it, and I'm like, where? And then I'm talking, I'm like, oh my God, in the background. Because they take it down, like the one they took down yesterday. It's the one where I was at the park. You're not allowed in the park, and I had the gas mask on. I was with the ambulance, and a couple other people pulled in. That's the video they pulled down. I wasn't talking about anything bad. I didn't point out any groups, but I got other videos up that I'm sure will probably be pulled down the next day or two because somebody's going to flag them. It's unbelievable. You can't have your own opinion and speak your mind. You're not free in this world anymore. Everything is, you hurt my feelings. You know, oh, I like chocolate, but you like vanilla. Well, that hurt my feelings, so you shouldn't be allowed to have vanilla ice cream. And, you know, you kidding me? Anyway, this is the pig was over here, and now he's laying in the sun. He knocked. Look at this. So this is Piney Prepper Bill. This is what I got so far, you know, on the greenhouse, the garden, how far we got, and hopefully everything goes good and everybody's safe and everybody's trying to grow some food. I hope everything gets better soon. The next day or two I'm going to try and do a video on, maybe I'll do it today and we'll see. But I'll try and do something on the water pump. And it's probably, you know, if you have well water and if you can get to your well, I mean, they have adapters if you have an underground well. I'm trying to think, we have this submersible, you know, so you got the pipe coming up out of the ground. So get prepared. Things are starting to lax, things are starting to get better, but things are getting worse at the same time. So everything's contradicting itself. Things are getting better, but they're getting worse. We're flattening the curve, but more people are dying. So you figure that out. So this is Piney Prepper Bill, and until the next video, I'll talk to you later.